Hello, Year 4. We are here for our third maths lesson this week. We are going to build on what we've done previously in the last couple of lessons and use both of those bits of knowledge to help us do today's lesson. Today's lesson is seeing whether or not we can divide a single digit or two-digit number by 100 and what that involves. Once again, I've got my place value grid above me, and this is going to help us explain. Okay, so let's quickly recap what we went through in our first lesson. What we were looking at was timesing and dividing by 10. Now, what we came up with was a quick reminder saying as numbers got bigger, we were moving in this direction, and that was multiplication. And then as numbers got smaller, we were dividing and moving in this direction. Now, this helps us in order to pick out which direction to go in when we're timesing and dividing. We also worked out that because numbers, when we step one column, get either 10 times bigger or 10 times smaller, whenever we're timesing or dividing by 10, we make one step. So what we're going to look at today is how we can use that knowledge to help us when we're timesing and dividing by 100. So here's the trick. If we know that one step is timesing by 10, another step in either direction would be timesing by 10 again. 10 times 10 is 100. So when we are timesing or dividing by 100, we need to shift our digits 2 steps. Now there's a little trick here, a little thing to help us remember. Think about how many zeros there are in 10. That means we're shifting just one step. How many zeros are there in 100? 2 means we are shifting 2. This is just something to help you remember, but the reason for it is each step is 10 times bigger. So 1 jump is 10, 2 jumps is 10 times 10, which is 100. So let's see if that works. I've got a couple of questions for us here. You can have a go first, pause in a minute, and then we'll run through it and we'll see if there's anything we need to pay attention to or anything that we need to be aware of. So first, this is the number 6 on a place value chart. What happens when it's divided by 100? What direction do we move in? And what will our answer be? Then also we've got A, B, and C down here. 9 divided by 100, 5 divided by 100, 24 divided by 100. Have a go and see if you can work it out. Use a place value grid if you need to. Remember your decimal point. Very important. Let's look at that first question. Talk it through, check that we understand what we're doing. So it says, here's the number 6 on the place value chart. What happens when 6 is divided by 100? First off, let's put 6 where it needs to go, which is in the ones column. There it is. Now at this point, we know we have nothing else in the other columns. We can put our decimal point in, but it makes no difference. So we're dividing by 100, which means we need to think about the direction we're moving in. First off, which direction are we moving in? We're getting bigger in this direction, that is timesing. We're getting smaller in this direction, that's dividing. So if we're dividing by 100, we know we are moving in this direction. Now, what we said is, when we're dividing by 100, we're moving 2 jumps, because first jump is 10 times smaller. The next jump is another 10 times smaller. 10 times 10 is 100. So here's 6. We're going to move it once to here, and then once to here. 1 jump, 2 jumps, 6 ends up here. Now what we need to do is also fill in the extra ones. Remember, we always have something in our ones column, which is 0. Because there is a space between this and this number, we have to fill in this middle one. It's called a placeholder. And it's important because if we don't fill it in, this then looks like 0.6, which actually would be in the 10th column. So what we're going to have to do is we have to put that 0 in there as a placeholder. Therefore, we've got 6 divided by 100 is 0.06. So let's have a go at these other 3 questions. As you can see, I've set up my page again. I've got tens, ones, tenths, hundreds. This is just to help you show it. You can do it without using one of these, that's fine. But this is the way we remember how to do it. What I've also done is our quick reminder here of the direction we're traveling in. We look at our symbol that we're looking at in these 3 questions, and all of them are division. So we'll be looking at moving in that direction. And that's so we know which way we're going. Now, the first one says it's 9, and we're going to divide by 100. So dividing by 100, 100, 2 spaces, 1, 2, put the 9 in this one, and then we need to make sure that we put our placeholders in place. We always have to have a placeholder in the ones column, just if there's nothing. We need our decimal point, and we need our separate. So far, so good, 0.09. Try again for 5, exactly the same. 1 jump, 2 jumps, 5 goes here, 0 placeholder there, decimal point, and 0 placeholder there. I'll answer a 0.05. Both of these 2 are fine, nothing new really in what we have to do. And this just confirms that our knowledge is correct. So what we now do is we now look at the last one, which is 24 divided by 100. So 24 goes in as normal. Now, our rule was we're moving division in this direction. We're doing 2 steps. So we come down here. Now, am I only going to move 2 steps, or do I have to move the whole number 2 steps? And the answer is every digit when dividing by 100 must move 2 steps. So we move the 4, 1, 2 steps. It goes here. I move the 2, 1, 2 steps, and it goes here. That means we put our decimal point in and our 0 as the placeholder. That 24 divided by 100 is 0.24. The rule remains the same for 2-digit numbers and 1-digit numbers. Here are your last 3 questions. Have a go, see what you can do, upload your answers to Tapestry. Have a good week, and thank you for listening.